Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. This is Jay of Jay's Trains here, and today I have some news that I want to talk to you guys about a little bit involving what is actually a bit of a leak before the October 2023 York show. And that's the next Vision Line locomotive that Lionel is producing in 2024, which, as you can see here, is the Eerie Triplex. This is former MTH tooling that Lionel actually acquired a couple of years ago at this point, and of course, it's not hard to imagine that this would have been a Vision Line locomotive once Lionel got the tooling. Knowing Lionel and it being a Vision Line locomotive, this thing is packed full of features, including one feature that's brand new that actually involves the tender, which we're going to be looking at a little bit here. But Lionel is offering a lot of different road names for this release, as well as a pretty epic Eerie set that we're going to be looking at shortly here. So let's jump right into it. So starting off with smoke features for this locomotive, you're going to have the standard stack and whistle smoke that is common in all legacy equipped locomotives. Also in the tender, there's going to be an additional smoke unit for the stack on the tender that goes with the set of wheels that are located underneath the tender and those pistons there. Also, you're going to have bicolor classification lights, a swing bell, which is also It's always a fun feature to see on locomotives. You know, it just adds interest to see an additional piece of moving equipment on the locomotive. And the brand new feature that's going to be equipped in these engines is the new wheel slip feature. Now, this is not just going to be the sounds of a wheel slip occurring. This is actually, from what I understand, there's going to be a motor inside the tender that controls the rear set of drivers underneath the tender separately. And you can either access it on the remote, or it sounds like it's something that could randomly happen if there is a heavy train behind the locomotive. And the motor will kick in and actually cause the rear set of drivers to slip, and that will also affect the smoke output from that rear stack in the tender. So that's going to be a really interesting feature to see demonstrated. So that's going to make these locomotives very unique. This is a brand new feature that's never been in legacy locomotives or really any scale before, so something really cool to see in a Vision Line locomotive. Additionally, to go along with the new Lionel Cab 3 and Base 3 system, you're also going to have the 4-digit addressing system option, so that you can address the locomotive in any 4-digit configuration that you want, whether it's the actual cab number of the locomotive or any kind of number of your choosing. So, getting to some of the road names and cab numbers that are offered in this release, you have on the first page 4 different Eerie versions, all with, except for one with the blue Russian iron boiler. You have the 2603, which was the very first Triplex delivered to the Eerie. You have the 5014, the 5015, as well as the 5016, which has a standard black boiler. And also on the bottom is the first of the Fantasy Scheme offerings, which is a Denver and Rio Grande Western number 1090, which actually looks pretty nice with the green boiler. Flipping over to the next page, you have another Fantasy Scheme locomotive up on the top left, which is a really nice Northern Pacific locomotive. Below that you have, I'm going to call it a Fantasy Scheme as well. Even though in real life the Virginian actually did have a triplex, it was numbered 700. So this 701 version, I guess, is sort of a what if had the Virginian ordered another triplex locomotive. In real life, the Virginian's triplex was a 28884 rather than a 2882, so when I heard there was going to be a Virginian triplex in this release, I was really hoping Lionel would have gotten that feature correct at least, but it's still a really nice rendering of the Virginian triplex. Below that is the LCCA exclusive 2024 Joshua Lionel Cowan Lionel Lines triplex. Up on the top right, for people who are looking for a big locomotive to add to their Halloween collection, is an Eerie number 3031 triplex, and something very interesting about that engine is it's going to have a glow-in-the-dark finish to add to that eerie feeling if you're running it around the layout in the dark. And of course below that you also have the unpainted pilot version. Now, as I'm sure you've probably noticed flipping through these pages here, the MSRP for these locomotives is $24.99, so These locomotives are a bit pricey, but if you go through a good Lionel dealer, you'll probably get a good deal for these locomotives. From what I've heard, most dealers are going to be offering pre-orders around $2,100 to $2,200. Now, to go along with this release, Lionel has decided to make a monster-sized set of triplex proportions. And this set here that's featured with this release is the Eerie Vision Triplex Super Set. The triplex number in the set with the Russian blue boiler is the 5016, and you get 15 freight cars in this set and a couple of Vision freight cars as well. So you have 4 woodside reefers, a hobo boxcar, a steel side boxcar, a Vision caboose that has different sounds and such in it, 3 two-bay hoppers that are Erie Railroad, a single sheath boxcar, an 8,000 gallon tank car, a Vision stock car with pig sounds, and 2 double sheathed boxcars. If I was an Erie guy, you know, this would be an amazing set to get. The MSRP is $39.99, so this is a very pricey set. Most stores will probably have this in the mid $3 range, probably around $3,500 if you go through a good Lionel dealer. It's a gorgeous set, but for that price, it's personally not for me. But this has been a very interesting announcement from Lionel for their next Vision line locomotive. I'm not decided yet if I will go for one of these. If I do, I would probably say I would have to go for the Virginian version. But all the versions look absolutely gorgeous. I did think twice about that Rio Grande version when I saw it, but still have some time to decide on if I will go for any of these or not. And especially at the York show coming up, it's going to be interesting to see some product demonstrations and see especially that wheel slip feature on the tender. That's going to be really cool. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want, comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this product announcement. Do you like it? Are you excited for it? Are you disappointed? I know a lot of folks were really hoping that it was going to be a Pennsylvania Q2 that Lionel was going to do using former MTH tooling, but hey, you know what? You never know. Maybe Lionel will do that for the 2025 Vision line locomotive, or maybe it'll be a normal legacy release in one of their upcoming catalogs this year. So anyway, if you guys could, leave a like in this video, and if you're not already a subscriber, please consider hitting that subscriber button. I would really appreciate it. This is Jay from Jay's Trains, signing out. I will see you guys next time.